Deep in Appalachia, we still follow the rules. But sometimes rules aren't enough, especially when the candle burns again. I've lived my entire life in a holler on the edge of Wyoming County, West Virginia. A place so deep in the mountains that most folks don't even know it's on the map. No neighbors, no lights, just endless woods that breathe when the wind dies. Here, Halloween isn't a holiday. It's survival. We have rules, old rules, passed down from those who came here from Scotland, bringing the old ways with them. And if you ever break one, you don't get a second chance. I know that because I've seen what happens. One Halloween night, I watched my neighbors, the Isaac family, lose their father. After that, it was just me and my dog, Barks. He's the only reason the silence doesn't drive me insane. On my fridge, taped and yellowed, hang the rules. If you hear 3 knocks after sunset, don't answer. If you hear 1, open the door, don't look, and offer bread. If someone calls your name from the woods, don't reply. If you see the man in the hat, don't look for longer than a second. If you hear chains, salt every window and door within 1 minute. If a candle burns in the Anderson cabin, stay inside, no matter what. That Halloween, the air was thick, the woods too quiet. Barks wouldn't stop growling at the old Anderson house up the hill. I knew it was going to be a bad night. All day I worked to prepare, chopped wood, locked the windows, lined every sill with salt. Then baked 2 loaves of cornbread, 1 for us, 1 for whatever might knock. I saw news on my phone. People out there dressing up as witches and pirates, laughing, arguing about candy. But out here, our costumes are locked doors, shuttered windows, and salt in our pockets. By evening, the fire burned low, the gun lay across my lap, and Barks slept by my feet. The clock read 6:40. The sun had already disappeared, erased by torn clouds. Then came the smallest mistake, the kind that changes everything. I'd worked myself to exhaustion, and somewhere between one blink and the next, sleep crept in, quiet as a wolf. I saw the fire, glowing embers, heard Barks breathing, and thought, just 1 minute, then nothing. Barks's barking woke me. He was at the door, snarling, panicked. And then I realized it. There'd already been a knock, a single one. The kind you must answer. My heart slammed. The silence told me everything. There had been a knock, and I had slept through it, which meant I was no longer the one deciding if the door would open. I grabbed the basket of bread and rushed toward the door. But in my hurry, I knocked over the kerosene lamp. It shattered, flames flared, and the door burst open. Something came in. It didn't walk. It flowed, like smoke folding into itself. The air turned heavy with iron and rot. I swung the knife. It passed through empty air, then something cold, colder than death, grabbed my shoulder. I screamed, but no sound came. Barks lunged, snarling, biting, desperate. But the thing pulled harder. The world twisted, and I was dragged into the dark. When I came to, I was lying in the woods, frozen, surrounded by mist and a perfect ring of salt. I don't know if I made it or if someone else did. In the distance, Barks was barking, but his voice was wrong, twisted, full of pain. I started whispering a prayer I barely remembered. My breath steamed in the cold air, and then the barking stopped. The silence was worse than any sound. I felt it pressing on my ears, waiting. I couldn't stay there. If he was alive, I had to find him. I ran, through wet leaves and roots, branches clawing at my face, and then metal glinting in the dirt. I stopped. It was Barks' collar, torn, wet, still warm. I dropped to my knees. Cold crept up from the ground to my chest, and I knew he was gone. Everything went quiet, almost peaceful, like the woods had finally exhaled. I stood and started walking home. The mist thinned. Light seeped between the trees. It felt like morning, like it was finally over. I saw my house ahead, the roof, the porch, the shape of safety. And then I looked toward the Anderson cabin. A single candle still burned in the window. Its flame swayed but never died. Goosebumps crawled up my arms. The air turned cold again. And from the woods behind me, I heard a voice calling my name. And that's when I knew. The Halloween night isn't over.